Hi, this is Ashio, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. In the last part, we got the ending to The Last Hope, but it was only ending B, and there are a few more endings to discover. And the ending we got was a good one, which means we're going to try and get the bad ones now. So, as we're kind of expecting there to be a comet at some point, I'm expecting some death and destruction, bad times, depression, all the bad, awful things that might happen to Remy as well. So consider this a content warning. But we are going to go into this, skip through, see if there are any like new little scenes that we can find, and try and get to these endings. Here we go. Let's take it easy. Let's not meet with Remy. We're going to avoid him. In the end, I decided that it might be worth to stay in my apartment, just in case I received important news from either Emma, Sebastian, or both. So sorry, Remy, not today. Work on plans. Sorry, Remy, it's not happening. With Logan having arrived out of nowhere, I decided that it would be better if I didn't spend the day with Remy, and instead tried to develop a more thorough plan to accommodate both the oncoming comet and humanity's demands. Sorry, Remy, bit busy right now. Oh, that's okay, but I'm guessing that your ambassador's duties, you need to come first. I'll see you some other time. We will. It's going to be bad. Oh, Remy didn't sound like he did when he started the call. That's weird. Well, I guess that I should get to work then, whatever that entails. It's going to be really bad. Brace yourselves. So one thing that we can do differently is we're working on the maintenance of the generators, and if we deliberately fail this, we should get a different outcome. Alright, got it. Oh, it's all a bad time. As we continue to work on the generator, I could hear a noise coming from afar. My tension perked up almost instantaneously as anxiety and panic filled my veins. Let's keep going. Oh, here's Remy. To think we'd meet again like this after such a long time since we had the chance to properly talk to each other. Sorry, man. Watch in silence. We're not hugging him. Sorry, man. Decided to let Remy have his moment to himself. I stood silently and watched him. He only seemed to have shed another single tear before stopping to look away from the moon and into the distance. Yeah, Remy almost immediately looked away again, as if he were trying to look away from something. A few moments had passed before he looked at me again. Sorry, I just remembered something. No need to worry. Okay, so off you go. He's going back home, and we're going to continue to rob the generator. Oh, considering that you had to leave me while the generator was in a critical state, I had to redirect my attention to fixing that instead. The thing is, I don't think that I'm able to do the rest tonight, especially considering the possibility that the cops should be back anytime soon. We did not do the generator. Who would have guessed that the files documented all of this seemed extra convoluted when you're in a hurry? Sorry about that. Don't stress it. I mean, if we were caught, that would have been far worse. I wouldn't have had the chance to hold. I'll finish the last few things tomorrow when everything is safe enough to me to work. Chances are you'll probably have to come with me, you know, to prevent this from happening again. Okay, so we are out of here. We are out of here. Okay, we're not answering the call either. Figuring that whoever wanted to call me so late could safely assume that I was still sleeping, I decided to leave the answering machine and let it ring for a few moments until it stopped. I let the soothing sounds of the rain crashing into the earth and lull me into a sleep, and with closed eyes let my consciousness drift once more. This is going to be the absolute worst ending. I've got so much dread. Okay, let's keep going. Be brave. We're going to do this for the sake of science. Oh, Logan's upset. What's up? Let's see what we can do with the generator. Considering the state of the damn thing, it might take quite some time. Well, the sooner we get started, the better. I guess so. We only have so much time after all. Hopefully we don't get caught this time. No interruptions. We gotta fix this thing. The two of us entered the room housing the unfinished generator once more. Logan immediately got his tools out, while I took the file and opened it to where I left off. After some basic preparations, we got to work. However, Logan seemed to be struggling somewhat, even with the help I gave him. Time after time, he would lightly swear under his breath, while seemingly fighting against some of the parts. Bloody hell, this thing just doesn't want to cooperate. It's as if some parts grew a brain just to spite me for not finishing with them the other day. Hey, so if you could find anything about the T36XH regulator in that file. Okay. Here we go. Okay, give that page to me. Damn, looks like I've gotten the connections wrong. I guess that's why the wires won't connect. I'm assuming that the regulator or whatever is interfering with the electrical outputs then? Among other things, yeah. I should be able to bypass that pesky connection if I just... Uh-oh. Ah, shit. Logan. Run! Oh god. We run in. Me and Logan both ran away from the generator as fast as we could. I nearly tripped over my own feet several times, but somehow Logan always managed to push me back up as soon as I stumbled. A massive explosion erupted from the underground facility just as we were about to make out, sending a shockwave that launched me outwards. As I landed on the ground, I could feel my consciousness starting to drift away as a loud ringing overcame my ears. Yeah, we did the opposite of helping. We kind of blew the place up, which is not the intended outcome. Hey, wake up. Damn it, wake up. I don't have the strength to carry you back, so you better regain your senses. Screw it. Oh, he slapped me. Rude. Ah, looks like that worked. Let me help you up. Yoink, we are up. There we go. Hey, I hate to tell you this, but we messed up. Big time. What? The generators. They exploded. And it's my fault. Yeah, it totally is you. We couldn't have expected this, you shouldn't blame yourself. It's us. Shared responsibility. You weren't the one to screw up the upgrade up. All you did was provide me the information I needed while working. You're innocent. As if things weren't bad enough with us losing the generator that we were working with, we lost the backup one as well. Our shining hope, gone in an instant. But we still have the generator you made back home, no? We could hold out for now. It's only a matter of time before that generator fails. Quite frankly, the scraps that we would have only give us so much time. The city's on life support. We failed. I let the realisation sink in as the dust settled around me. With Dragonkind having lost their main weapon against the comet, it's unlikely that they'd be able to redirect it in time. And with the dragons gone, it's only a matter of time before the city falls as well. Not that we could do much anyway, now that the generators that powered the portal were gone as well. As I stood in silence with my legs injured, I could hear another set of footsteps approaching us. It's Bryce. Are you two alright? I think so. My legs are pretty beaten up, but I'll live. Do you think you can walk? I should be able to. Good. Logan? Yeah, I'm good. Just my torso hurting like hell, that's all. That wound on the back of your head begs to differ. Trust me, I'm fine. I've gone through worse. Just what happened in the underground facility? So, wait. No. You mean... Yeah, sorry, Bryce. Bryce only stared at the ground, not even wanting to look at anybody in the eye. His expression was hollow, as if all sense of hope had died within him. There isn't even a point in arresting you for trespassing. What good would it even do? Follow me to the office, please. I need to take your statements. Oh, we did a bad. With the three of us at the police station, Bryce took our statements of what happened at the underground facility. Despite our trespassing, Bryce was simply in too bad of a mood to give us a punishment. Instead, he told me and Logan to go to Emerald first thing in the morning to try and come up with something new to redirect the comet. In the meantime, Bryce told us that we should contact either Sebastian or Maverick if we needed any help, and that he would be off duty for the time being. I could only imagine what Bryce meant by that statement. Me and Logan eventually went back to our apartments, too shaken up to discuss what had happened with each other. Night eventually turned to day, and I woke up with a feeling of dread as I knew that I had to explain everything to Emera. I tried to delay as much as I could, but in the end I had to make my way to Emera's office. When I arrived, I saw that Logan had been talking with the minister, albeit in an anxious tone. Oh, this is going to be beyond awkward. This is going to be the worst. Alright? Hey, take a seat. Your associate already explained everything. Answer me this. Why? Why did you think it was a good idea to risk everything that we'd worked for? I'm not sure. I simply wanted to ensure the survival of dragonkind, yes. And that went well, now didn't it? By wanting to ensure our survival, you've inexplicably caused our doom instead. I don't have time to argue with you about this. Emma turned around and went toward her phone. After pressing a few buttons, she picked the phone up and put it on speaker. Good morning, Remy. You're on speaker. I want you to see whether it's going to be possible to divert the comet without the aid of the underground generators. What? Why? It's a story that we should discuss in private. I'll advise you to come to my office as soon as possible. I see. Unfortunately, I can't. Excuse me, what do you mean you can't? I'm not exactly at work. You're calling my private number after all? To summarise, I'm sick. Very sick, both physically and mentally. Remy, you listen to me right now. I don't care if you're sick or not. You need to research the possibility of redirecting the comet without the underground generators. If you don't, then you will be the cause of the death of us all. What happened? Ask the humans. They're right here with me. Did you not hear the explosion last night? The phone went silent for a few moments, as if Remy was hesitating on saying something. Eventually, with what sounded like scorn in his voice, he spoke. You. Yes. Not only did you hurt me when I needed you the most, but you also caused all of this. I thought that after so long I had a future. I finally had something. No, someone to keep me going. But that was just another lie, wasn't it? Was everything that you told me a lie? Was everything simply things that you did and said out of pity? Yes, I know I called you in the middle of the night, and that on its own is excusable. But everything else? Why did you avoid me every time I wanted to spend time with you? Why? Keep your personal life out of this, Remy. This is too dire a situation to get angry now. Fine, but let me say this right now then. We'll be lucky if we can even delay the comet with what resources we have. Without the generators, we don't have any hope. Unless we suddenly find some huge supply of energy to use, there's little chance that we can make it. As for you, we'll meet soon. One last time. Remy hung up soon after he finished speaking, leaving an ominous silence to fill the office. Logan only looked at me with a mixed expression of raw confusion and concern. What was all that about? No matter. Personal lives are of no importance right now. We need to focus on the upcoming comet. What about it? You heard it yourself, Minister. There's not much we can do. I refuse to stand idly by and wait for a comet to wipe us all out. My people are in danger, Ambassador, and if you won't help, then it's best you leave. Okay, what can we do? I suspect that we need to cut into our emergency supplies, as well as whatever reserves we have left. Since we ordered the use of all the generators to be connected to our power grid, we might be able to pull something off. I'm not entirely sure about that. Remy's word about us not being able to do much seems trustworthy. You heard that he isn't himself. His emotional state might cause him to not think rationally, causing him to choose the most pessimistic outcome. Regardless of what he says, the Council will try its best to redirect the comet in the few days that we have left. I've got an idea, though I'll need your permission for it, Minister. Speak. I asked for permission to work on constructing more generators with the parts that are available. I'm far more capable of working on the finer, more intricate parts than most dragons, and it's a far quicker pace as well. As much as I dread letting you anywhere near another generator, we have no other choice. We need all the help we can get. You have permission. Thank you. I'll start immediately. As for you, I'll assign you the task of research. A copy of Remy's research should still remain on his computer back in his office at the library. See if you can find anything that might help us now. I'll also call for a few of our staff to go through the library alongside your review for anything that Remy might have missed. Make haste, time is of the essence. I'll try my best, Minister. You're dismissed. What about Remy though? This a bad time. With my work having been assigned to me, I immediately went to work in an attempt to right my wrong. Every spare moment of time I had was spent researching energy-efficient ways of redirecting the comet. Several dragons came to me, giving me extracts from books detailing several possibilities. However, each of them was already documented as implausible by Remy. It didn't take long for me to become exhausted from all the research I put in, making me wonder how Remy was even able to do all of this on his own in the first place. Eventually, I had to call it a day and give up. I slept on Remy's bed in his office, knowing that it would save time for me tomorrow. I repeated this process for the next few days, but nothing noteworthy came up in my research. It seemed like Remy had taken notes on every single detail. The more I went on, the more I started to lose hope in ever finding something noteworthy. I could only wish that Logan had more luck in his endeavours. On the day that the dragons were supposed to redirect their comet, all available resources were used, but to no avail. Despite the new generators that Logan managed to make, and despite all my research, everything was for nothing. Like Remy had said, the comet was only slowed down. Dragonkind had used all the power they had, but nothing helped. Eventually, they ran out, causing widespread blackouts, and nothing could be done. Yet, I had a small hope left, as I realised that the portal was never damaged in the explosion. It was possible for me to go back to the day of my arrival and try again, to succeed where I had failed. I checked on the portal and saw that miraculously it had a small battery that gave the portal enough charge to be used once. However, before I activated it, I waited. I wanted to see whether anything could be done for this world. As the comet came closer and closer, the night sky lit up considerably. I estimated that the comet would hit in a few hours at the earliest and tomorrow afternoon at the latest. Not wanting to leave this world without a trace, I called everyone I'd met to meet me at my apartment for one final goodbye. Okay, Maverick does not look happy. Okay. You're a coward, you know that? At least face your failure with dignity instead of running away. Maverick, please, I know this is hard, and I need to try again. I hope that in another timeline, I'll be able to save you all. I still can't wrap my head around this time travel stuff. It just seems so unreal, as if everything is from a bad sci-fi book or something. At least there'll be hope for us in another time. I know I'll see you again, but it just doesn't feel right. You'll meet me again, but I won't remember anything about it. It's as if you'll see another person like me in another time, complete with my memories and personality. It feels so fake. I understand it, Dean. I understand. All of this hurts so much. We went through so much together, and then you'll leave us all to die. Sure, we didn't exactly have the best exchange over the phone the other day, but still. I'm sorry I acted the way I did. I wasn't myself. Don't worry, Remy. It'll be okay. No, it won't. Stop tossing euphemisms around. Everybody knows that nothing will be alright. Except for you, the cowardly ambassador running off into the past to try again. Will you succeed? Will you fail again and cause even more pain and suffering? Maverick, stop, you're not helping. I'm leaving. I've had enough talking to a traitor. I should follow him. I don't want Maverick to cause any more trouble. It was nice seeing you for one last time. I wish you the best of luck in your next attempt. This isn't your first attempt, is it? Just how many times have you gone through all of this? Not sure. Can't remember. And how many times have we died in the past? How many times did everyone die? I see. I can't help but think of Amelie right now. She never had a true home. She'll never grow up. She'll never know what life is like outside of the orphanage. If there's one last thing I'll do before the comet hits, it's going to be to spend some time with Amelie. There's no way I'm letting her die alone and afraid. That's really kind of you to help her out like that, Erdine. But first... Erdine stretched her wings and wrapped them around Remy, holding him tightly as he silently wept. I'm so glad that we were able to get together after so many years, Remy. I never said this, but I missed you. With you, I can see a part of Amelia still thriving, being as happy as ever. Quiet, Remy, don't speak now. I don't want to remember this moment as one of words. Adine continued to hold Remy for a few moments more, softly humming as tears fell from Remy's face. In time, they parted, but not before Adine gave Remy a light kiss on his cheek. Goodbye, Remy. I'll miss you. And you too, Ushio. Good luck. Let's take a walk to the portal. Alright. We left my apartment and slowly wandered the now abandoned streets to the portal. Even in the middle of the night, it was extraordinarily bright, making it very easy to see where we were going. After having walked in silence, Remy spoke up. I really am sorry for how I acted, you know. Don't be. You had every right to respond the way you did. It still doesn't excuse my behaviour with Emma on the phone. I have to wonder whether if I'd listened to Emma, instead of letting my emotions get the better of me, we'd be in a different situation. This is all my fault, isn't it? No, you weren't the one to cause the generators to explode. But I was the one who refused to come up with a possible solution in response. You said it yourself, there wasn't much we could do. Maybe, if I wasn't such a sourpuss, there could have been something. But it's too late now. This is a super downer. But we knew this was coming. We walked for a little while further until we reached the portal, standing ever defiant to the world and its problems. Yet, as we went closer, we saw another face standing there, waiting. Logan? Hey, I figured you'd want to try the portal out. So, this is the Logan I've been hearing so much about. Nice to meet you. Feelings mutual, even if our circumstances aren't the most ideal. Especially judging from the fact that you're crying. This is embarrassing. Don't worry about it. From everything that's going on, it's hard not to cry. So, I'm guessing you're going to be wanting to go on another attempt? Yep. As I expected. Well, the portal has enough power to send you through to the past. I could use it to go back home, but it's pointless. Humanity's doomed, and we both know it. It's better to give you another shot instead. You know about the portal's ability to time travel, Logan? I do. It's a long story as to how I know. I shouldn't dawdle, though. The longer we wait, the less time that Ushio has to escape. Take this. Logan removed his watch and gave it to me with a faint smile on his face. I want you to remember me if it's possible. Besides, it's not like I'll be using the watch soon, anyway. Every time you look at it, I want you to remember us all. Remember that you're our last hope. That watch will serve as a symbol of our goal to save both humanity and Dragonkind. Yeah, the time travel will probably screw with your memory, but I don't care anymore. Just, please, don't fail. Logan's words drifted slightly as he looked into the distance. It almost seemed as if he was trying to hide his face from me as he tried to spit his words out. May we meet again in another time, friend. Logan simply left after he finished speaking, slowly stumbling away from the portal. The only ones that were left were me and Remy. I guess this is it. I won't see you anymore, will I? Not in this timeline. I'm sorry that I have to leave you alone like this. But I'm not. I have Adine this time. I can at least guess that in most of those other attempts I was truly alone. Yet, it still hurts to see you leave. All I could do is stand in front of him with a sense of guilt, watching his tears stream down his face. I'll try my best to remember you, Remy. I promise. Thank you. Remy slowly lifted his head and gave me a small lick with his tongue as he unfurled his wings. He wiped his tears away and stood strongly. I hope you'll succeed on the other side. Make us all proud. I will. With my time running out, I went to the portal and powered it on. With much hassle, it eventually started its routine of powering on. I stood between the two pillars and stared outward at a bright night sky. The last thing I saw before phasing out of this world was Remy slowly undoing his tie and looking at me with an expression of wistful hope. We went through the portal. Everybody is doomed. So that was a bad ending for sure. But in this one, we confronted everybody. We said that this is the deal. This is the time thing that we're struggling with. And with that, everybody had the knowledge that there is a future hope, that you can try again in another timeline. Maybe not these guys will see it, but they're, what do you call it? They're parallel persons, they're parallel personalities. They will hopefully experience a better future. So we're going to have to keep trying. We're going to have to try and get another ending. Ending achieved. Errors ending, or ending E for short. You've now seen the Last Hope's worst possible ending. Try not to wonder about the dragon's last moments, or how your city crumbled, please. It would only hurt your next attempt. Okay, so now the only way is up. We can try and get, what is it? A, B, C, D and E. Is it S? Is there another version of A? I think there are a couple of different versions of the best ending, but we shall see how we get on. I think we will try for ending D. There is one thing that we can do differently. It's how Maverick's trial goes. Were they asking about how he murdered Reza and all that? We covered for him and it went okay, but I think you can fail that. And I'm curious, as we're doing all the bad things on this video, let's see what other bad things we can do. Okay, what are my orders, Chief? Don't get so excited. This is pretty serious stuff. Okay, so what's gonna happen? Oh, he's gonna be discharged. Not only has he been guilty of killing Reza and forging the reports to hide himself, but he also put the trade with humanity at monumental risk. However, sending him to prison for rehabilitation doesn't seem necessary. Maverick did what he did to help others, but unfortunately by doing so, he caused more harm than good. Regardless, his intentions were in the right place, so prison will just waste our resources. I'm not planning on making this information public outside of informing the council. Things are already shaky with humanity, so we don't need to inform them that an enforcer of the law was the one who killed their ambassador. Well, the police force erupted into voices of chaos, with several thoughts and opinions showering Bryce left, right and centre. I looked over to Maverick, who only returned a blank stare. Everybody calm down. It's clear that some of you might be unhappy with my decision, while others agree with it. Unfortunately, my decision is final. I thought about both possibilities while in my office, and I believe that this is the best outcome for us all. Those that disagree with me will have to make an appointment to some other point during the day or send me a letter. For now, I see this case as being dealt with. Sebastian, I need you to inform Emma of my decision. As for everybody else, please return to your work. Maverick, meet me in my office while we sort the paperwork out. Remember to bring your necklace. Yes, Chief. I started to walk out of the office, but I got stopped just as I was about to exit the door. Wait. Thanks for being a part of this. Your judgment was valuable. I can't say that I liked making this decision, but there wasn't another idealistic choice. Happy to help. If only this was a happy result. These past few days have been rough. I was constantly worrying about what to do with Maverick since the day he killed Reza, and with it being revealed that he forged the reports as well. I've lost a close friend today. You could always hang outside of work, you know. I doubt that Maverick would want to anymore. Excuse me, I have to get back to doing paperwork. Thanks for the small chat. Goodbye, Bryce. Oh, it's all awkward and bad. Oh, it's all awkward and bad. Oh, Maverick's shown up. Here's some consequences. It's only because of you that I'm even able to do this. Okay, so, well, now that I'm not part of the police force anymore, I don't really have much to worry about. Whatever will happen is outside of my control, so why bother fighting it? I didn't expect something like that to come from you, Maverick. Me neither, yet here we are. Still, I want to thank you for at least trying to cover for me back at the office, even if some of the things you said weren't exactly helping me out. Oh, sorry. It's alright, nothing that can be changed now. Sure, I can sulk about it all I want, but it's not going to do anything to change my situation. Let's see. At least I can say that I tried my best. Everything else is up to you. Guess it is. So, what even brought you here in the first place? I wanted to go to the portal because I knew that nobody would be here for the time being. Sebastian's guard shift is supposed to start in an hour or whatever, so now would be a good time. To be blunt, I need a breather from everybody. Of course, I didn't expect to see you here, but things happen. Oh, how come? Everyone has been treating me differently since Bryce informed the force about what I did. Not only was I shunned by Bryce during the Reza case, but now I'm being shunned by everybody I thought was my friend. Hence, the break. I'm sure it will pass eventually, but for now, I'd rather keep my distance. Should I give you some personal space then? Only if you want to. At this point, I don't even mind you being here. Thanks, I'll take it as a compliment. Take a seat. I'm sure you don't want to constantly stand. Well, we're kind of like, sort of friends right now. You know, I'm kind of lost as to what to do now. How so? I don't think that I'm able to find a job to sustain myself now. Even if this information is kept private, I suspect it's going to get leaked to the press. Despite Bryce's reaction about wanting me gone, I can imagine that the possible leak will make him far more upset than he already is. We both knew what had to be done, even if we didn't like it. I can't imagine that somebody would want to leak this information though. Are you this oblivious to your surroundings? Did you notice the reactions of the police force when Bryce delivered my sentence? Someone out there hates me or Bryce enough to leak my actions to the public. It might be their way of damning me one last time or getting back at Bryce for letting me go. I can see that the urge of revenge is strong in the police force. Not that it matters. I knew what the results would be if I'd been caught forging your report. It's my responsibility to accept the consequences. Where are you going to go after you've been fully discharged? Since you still seem to have some kind of idea of what's happening in the force right now, I imagine that you still have connections there. Remember, I was already fully discharged. I gave up my necklace and title. All I have left are damaged connections. It wasn't what you asked though, so to answer you, can't say. I'll probably have to move somewhere where I'm not as well known, though if anything gets leaked, even that would be pointless. Maybe Anna would have something for me. Why Anna? We have a history, so to speak. I'm sure she'd be able to find an opportunity for me to work at the production facility. If not, then I'll have to figure out what to do from there. I wish you good luck. Thanks. Before I go, I need to ask you a favour. Happy to help, Mav? Mav, huh? It's been ages since someone called me that. I want you to keep an eye on Bryce, especially when it comes to his drinking. I imagine that the threat of imminent extinction can't do wonders for his mental health, nor can the fact that he had to discharge one of his best friends. He's already in a bad situation by being late for work due to his blackout the other day. Just don't let it get out of control. Try to reason with him, alright? I know that we haven't been kind in the past, but if there's anything I need to ask you to do, it's this. Forget about the comments, or the report, or humanity. I don't want my friend to lose his job. Or worse. I'll try my best. Maverick only nodded in response. I should be going now. I remembered that there was still something that I needed to do at the police station before fully leaving it all behind. I'll leave you to your nosy ambassador duties. You know what to do. Goodbye. Bye, Maverick. Nice talking to you. Maverick stood up from the ground and stretched slightly. He then looked back at the portal briefly and took off into the skies, leaving me alone, close to the portal. Okay, we got Maverick sacked. Okay, so now we're going to blame Logan for Maverick having lost his job. It was a sacrifice he was willing to make, right? It was either that, or humanity would have gotten those extra resources. Besides, Maverick seems like the type who knew what the repercussions would be for his actions should he go through with it. And he did. So, despite knowing he'd be fired, he still continued to hide everything for the sake of the trade. I got nothing but respect for him. Enough talking though, we're wasting time. So we're gonna go to do this computer thing, and we are going to fail it, and hopefully that will get us onto a different ending. So we've been nice to Remy, but bad at the task at hand. Okay, we successfully helped Remy with his troubles. We picked up the phone. We failed repairing the generator, but everything else we were nice to Remy about. Let's go, let's go. I'll go and see what I can do to fix the generator. Considering we had to leave it in a critical state, it might take me a while. I'll still need your help like last time. So I don't know if it's going to explode again, because that would be sort of a bad time. Let's have a look. We went into the generator room to complete our tasks, with Logan soon getting back to where he originally left the generator. I took the file I'd used and helped to guide Logan through the process of making the repairs. Let's try this. Damn, it's not looking good. The amount of time that's passed since we were last here really did a number on this thing. If I'm not careful, things will turn sour really quick. But you'll manage, right? I really hope so. Now, let's try to connect this here and rearrange the parts there. This should stabilise a few things. Does the file say anything about this arrangement? Let me check. It does. Apparently the wires shouldn't be output into that port, otherwise critical overheating could occur. Okay, then I'll just arrange and modify some parts instead. It should basically do the same thing. Right. Okay, done. Anything else I need to know? It should be all, unless you somehow forgot about the electrical outputs. Oh, okay. I just gotta double check that real quick. Uh-oh. What's up? Oh, get the backup generator and fucking run! Okay, I'll try my best to hold this generator long enough so you can run before it explodes. As for me, I'm a goner, but if there's one thing left for me to do, it's to ensure that dragonkind at least stays safe. If the dragons are gone, then humanity will die as well, especially with that flimsy generator that I made for them. Everything's in your hands now. Run! Run! Oh no! Logan maketh the sacrifice. Logan switched all of his attention to the now hissing generator, hastily reconfiguring different parts and connections to give me as much time as possible. Without thinking, I grabbed the backup generator and dashed out of the underground facility, nearly tripping several times as the weight of the generator in my arms caused me to lose balance in the dark. Oh, get out of here. Run, run, run. I was able to make it out far enough before I could hear the generator explode with a loud boom, sending a large sonic boom throughout the sky and causing me to momentarily lose my hearing. As I looked back, some of the surrounding ground had completely sunk to where the underground facility was, and it almost looked like a small crater of sorts. I tried to see if I could go back to get Logan, but the entrance had now been sealed thanks to the rubble blocking it. Logan. He went kaboom. I stood in silence, the dust from the now demolished underground facility blowing around the area. Fortunately, the portal seemed to remain mostly intact. As I aimlessly stared at the undamaged portal, the sound of beating wings appeared next to me. Who's this? It's Maverick. What happened? The underground facility exploded. Stop playing games with me, I can see that. I'm asking why it exploded. Logan wanted to improve one of the generators in the underground facility so that a single generator could be more easily used to redirect the comet. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why put in the effort and risk of improving a new generator when the existing generators will suffice? Damn that excuse of Ambassador. He might have just killed us all. Screw it. I'll have to take your word at face value for now. You still need to be taken to the police station so that someone can officially record your statement though. I don't think we'll be able to launch an investigation soon, not with the comet on its way and whatnot. I take it that Logan is dead. I only nodded in response. Damn, I can imagine that this will be hell to explain to the authorities on both sides then. So much for all the effort of forging the report with Reza. At least you managed to get one of the generators. Maybe we'll still be able to redirect the comet, even if all our energy reserves are going to be put under severe strain. Sorry about this, Maverick. I should have stopped Logan when I could. Yes, you should have. Hell, neither you nor Logan were even allowed in the underground facility in the first place. But here we are. At least you're safe. I can imagine that if you were the one to have died instead, things would have been a lot more chaotic for us. Let's go take your statement now, and bring that generator with you. After we arrived at the police station, Maverick took me to an officer that I didn't recognise. She bombarded me with hordes of questions relating to what exactly had happened in the underground facility. Hours had passed before the two of us were finished late at night. With nothing else to do, I returned back to my apartment, still shocked about what had happened at the underground facility. A few days had passed, yet nothing happened outside of a brief message being sent through the portal thanks to an external generator we'd used. I was left wondering about the state of humanity and how the generator that Logan had made for them was holding up. With nobody skilled left back at home, I could only guess that they would only be able to last for so long until the generator would fail. Occasionally I wondered about how the authorities back home reacted when they heard of Logan's passing. There was barely a moment where my soul hadn't been engulfed by an all-encompassing dread. Eventually, I received a letter from Emra asking me for an audience. Wondering why Emra would want to see me now instead of at an earlier date, I left my apartment and went to her office. Okay, Emra, let me have it. Good day. I hope you've been well the past few days? I suppose. Good to hear. I received a letter from humanity that might be of interest to you. I'll wait for you to read it all before filling you in on our current plans for the comet. I went over to Emra's desk as she handed me a small crusty letter. I opened the letter and started to read, eager to hear about the news back home. However, that eagerness slowly turned to dread as I continued to read. Unfortunately, due to Logan's passing, our desire to maintain the trade agreement has dwindled to an all-time low. Despite this horrible, unfortunate accident that Logan found himself in, we simply cannot continue using power from the prototype generator to maintain the portal's connection. With the other generator already being used to keep the hospital afloat, it's crucial that we conserve as much power as we can to try and wait until we find someone qualified enough to help us with all the scrap parts that we have in stock. Thus, both the portal generator and the prototype generator will be allocated to the hospital. Until further notice, you will remain in the Dragon's world until we have the resources to bring you back, which we cannot say when this will be. We sincerely apologise for making this decision without consulting you, but we simply have no other choice. Well, everything alright? You appear to be fairly bleak. I think so. Thinking will get you nowhere. The world of politics has taught me more than enough about that concept. You're either alright or you're not. And depending on the answer, you have to take action so that you can be the best you can for not only yourself, but for those around you. Now, what exactly does that message of yours say? To summarise, humanity's put an end to the trade agreement for the time being, while they conserve as much power as they can until they get somebody to use the parts that they have. In the meantime, they've ended their connection with the portal, leaving me stranded. This is indeed quite shocking. I'll have to inform the rest of the council so that we can figure out what to do. For now, we have bigger problems to handle. With only a single generator from the underground facility, we'll have a very hard time redirecting the comet. I'm not entirely sure our current plan's going to work, considering we made our plan under the assumption that we would at least have 2 generators. If we use all of our backup reserves, then we might be able to redirect the comet, but just barely. It just hurts me that we don't have another choice for survival. Then let's hope this plan works. Indeed, we'll have to spend today connecting all available energy reserves to the one we made for the comet. Hopefully that extra day wasted won't be our downfall. I hate to ask you this, but could you do me a favour? Okay. I need you to contact Remy and see whether the change of the plans is feasible in the first place. Ask him to then submit a report as soon as possible. I will. Thanks, and you're dismissed. Good day to you. So, all is not lost, we do have one generator. After my meeting with Emra, I went to Remy to inform him of his new duties. With a distraught face, Remy reluctantly accepted his work. With my help, he managed to send an update report only a few hours later, enough for the council to make an early decision on an updated approach to the comet. As tomorrow became today, I was constantly informed about the current status of the comet. After the entire day, I received the news that the comet was able to be redirected, but not without a huge cost. Maverick had been right with his guess, in the sense that the entire power grid had been put under a lot of strain, leading to Dragonkind having little to no power for a few days. Society plunged into chaos, but was able to eventually recover. Humanity, however, wasn't so lucky. Shortly after the comet had been redirected, I received news that my city had completely collapsed, leaving me truly trapped in the dragon's world. The last scraps of power had been used to inform me of the chaos that now filled the city and its populace. Heartbroken by my failure to save humanity, my thoughts returned to the portal. I remembered that I'd be able to use the backup coordinates to return to the day of my arrival, effectively giving me another shot to save both humanity and dragonkind. Luckily, the portal seemed to have a backup source of power, just enough for a single use. However, before activating the portal and saying goodbye to this world, I decided to visit Remy one last time. Hey man, we did most things okay. We saved Dragon World. Sorry about the humans though. Hey. Yo, have you been keeping yourself safe with everything out there? I managed, yeah. Luckily, I had enough things stocked up so that I didn't have to go out much. I'm just glad that all the chaos finally seemed to be over. Yeah, those riots in the streets were something. I feel the same way, but despite that, I'm just relieved that the worst is now done, especially considering what the alternative was. Of course. At least the comet's been redirected, even if a majority of my original work had been vetoed. Nothing went to waste. There's a reason why we finished the updated report so quickly. I know, still, kinda feels like a slap to the face, even if external circumstances led to me needing to update the report. I guess. Remy, I need to tell you something. What's up? Wait, did you receive news from humanity? Is everything alright back home? From what I've heard, it's complete anarchy back home. The little bit of power that was left has been used to inform me of the chaos on the other side. Humanity is gone. I didn't think this would happen so soon. It really is horrible what happened. I can't imagine how it must feel to lose everything you knew just like that. I can only wish you the best of luck in recovering from that experience. Thanks, Remy. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever fully accept it, but I'll try my best for that not to weigh me down. I'm aware of the feeling. Sometimes, however, you just kinda learn how to live with the feeling of loss. It'll forever be a part of you, sure, but with enough effort and time, you can grow around the pain. That's what I learned from all the times we talked with each other. Interesting to see how the tables have turned. Yeah, it is. So, what now? I'm trying again. Excuse me. Long story short, the portal's actually a time machine. Humanity and Dragonkind live on the same planet, but separated by many, many years. I want to go back to the day of my arrival and try again. Hopefully I can save humanity as well. That's a lot to take in. All our myths about humans, the way our society's been structured, our history. Sorry about that, Remy. No, don't be. I understand more than you think. I just need the time to fully grasp the concepts all. How are you going to power the portal with no generators? There's a small battery of some sort somewhere. It should be enough for me to use. So this is it? I won't see you again? Another version of you will, but not the Remy I'm speaking with right now. I see. It's fascinating to know what the portal actually does, but I'll admit that it's so confusing to think about all the possibilities, with time travel actually being real. I find it so interesting to see that my original theory of black holes wasn't entirely far off, but then again, it was just a theory made in a time of ignorance. Not that we'll ever find out the truth after you're gone, that is. Well, you could always connect the generator back to the portal once the energy reserves have been fully restored. There just wouldn't be a reason for it. At least, not with humanity having severed their connection. Besides, I'm guessing that not even our top scientists will be able to figure out how to get the portal working again, let alone figure out how to reach you. Well, never say never. For all we know, a human might just pop out from nowhere and fix the portal. Maybe, but you said it yourself. Humanity is gone. Oh well, I guess we can hope. Are you going to be able to manage on your own without me? I should. Remember, I've got a Dean at my side now. This is far more than what I used to have before I met you. I'm sure I'm going to be devastated with you gone, but I'm certain that a Dean will be able to help me cope with your loss. Not only that, but Emily as well. She'll definitely keep things interesting. No, nothing's going to be able to compare to you. Not because you're a human, mind you, but because of how you treated me and how you helped me recover to the point where I am today. Remember that whenever you're going through a hard time, you were able to change not just my life for the better, but helped save countless lives as well. You got no idea how much that means to me, Remy. No, I don't. But despite that, I still mean everything that I said. Remy looked at me longingly, as if he wanted to say goodbye, but lacked the courage to do so. I'll miss you. And I'll miss you too, Remy. Remy moved closer to me and embraced me with one of his wings, enveloping me with a soft, warm hug. We stood like this for a few moments before Remy parted from me. Once my final visit came to an end, I reluctantly made my way to the portal, somebody thinking about how I owe a better future to those I'd lost back home. I booted the portal up so that I could fulfill my original promise to help humanity, keeping Logan's last wish in mind to do what I could to guarantee everybody's safety. And we have reached the ending of this route. Ending achieved. D. The dwindling of humanity. Wow. You've now seen the Last Hope's bad ending. At least the dragons are safe. Cool. And we got ending D. I'm going to try and get ending C. So hopefully this will be like the medium level ending. So it won't be sad. It won't be super happy. But it will be okay. So that's what we're aiming for. So to do this one, we need to... What do we need to do? Beat the generator minigame in Chapter 4A, but don't do any of Remy's dates. Alternatively, you can successfully save the generator and then fail Chapter 4B and get the same result. So we're not going to talk to Remy. We're not going to talk to Remy. So take it easy. Sorry, Remy. So when we're walking back with Logan, he's like, oh, do you want to crash at mine? I'm like, no, thank you. I'm going to go to my place. Oh, that's boring. I really wanted to have a pillow fight with you and share our deepest secrets while we eat some pizza. It's a tempting offer, but I'll pass. I need to get as much rest as I can, so sleeping in another bed might cause me a restless night. Yeah, I hate how that happens. You get used to one bed, and then find it hard to sleep in another one for a bit. Whatever, sleep well. Same to you, whenever you do go to sleep, that is. You know me too well. My guy does not sleep. But we skipped a couple of Remy's dates, but we were nice to him on the phone, and we did do the generator, so hopefully this will be good. With those last words, we split our paths and walked alone toward our respective apartments. Hoping to fall asleep quickly, I went straight to my bed and rested my head. Fortunately, it didn't take long before I could continue my slumber. Yet another sunny day packed with possible work ahead of me has arrived. Figuring that I had a bit of time left before I head out, I made myself breakfast with whatever hadn't been cleared out by Remy the other day. Looking through the available options of things I could recognise, most of them didn't look very appetising to me. Eventually, I settled on a breakfast classic, eggs on toast. After several minutes of prepping and cooking, my breakfast was ready. Breakfast time. No one knocking at the door or nothing. Unfortunately, it didn't taste as good as I hoped it would. I probably should have just gone out to eat instead. Oh well. Just before I started to clean the dishes, my doorbell rang. Who is it this time? We're very popular. Who is it? It's Bryce. Morning. Can I help you with anything? Also, by the way, on this route, Maverick was kept within the police force. He wasn't kicked out. You could take this as a starter. Bryce carefully handed me a small, sealed letter while trying his best not to shred it. It's from the council. I'm guessing that it has something to do with the comet. Okay. Thing is, I had to deliver another letter from the council to Logan as well. Why he's wanted makes me question a few things, but I suppose I should keep my nose out of political affairs unless requested to do so. It might just be that Emma wanted to talk to Logan about some stuff with the trade. Possible. Well, I'd have to chat a bit more, but things need to be done at the police office, so I need to go. It's okay. After all the chaos that went on with Reza, Logan and Maverick, I can imagine that a lot of cases would have been temporarily put on hold until all the internal affairs have been dealt with. It's not the several cases that are the problem. Things are pretty calm now that Reza's gone. It's those internal affairs that are still the problem. Things are still pretty dicey after the whole Maverick situation we dealt with, but we'll manage. We handled Reza, so we can handle this. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks. Good luck with whatever the council wants to speak to you about. Thanks, Bryce. Well, good luck with that. See ya. As Bryce left my apartment, I opened the letter and started to read. Greetings, Ambassador. The time has arrived for us to redirect the comet. You are requested to attend a final meeting with one member of the council to discuss any potential queries that need to be highlighted before the redirection process will start. Please make haste, as this is an incredibly urgent matter. Sincerely, the Council of Dragonkind. Why would the council address me directly this time rather than Emera? And why would it feel so empty? Surely something was left out of the letter, right? I guess I have no choice but to find out. That is weird. As instructed, I hastily left my apartment and went toward Emera's office. Somehow, the town felt different than usual, as if a feeling of isolation had descended on the streets. I tried my best to ignore it, instead focusing on my mission. It wasn't long before I arrived at the office building where the fate of Dragonkind, and by extension humanity, would be dictated. Though before I entered the building, I spotted Logan off to the side. As I approached him, he seemed slightly surprised by my arrival. Oh hey, I didn't expect to see you here. I thought Bryce had told you that I'd have to go to Emera as well. Did he tell you then? Because he most certainly didn't tell me. Yeah, he did. Oh, well, doesn't matter now. The point is, we're both here right now. So, are you ready for whatever we need to talk about in there? As ready as I can be. Then you're already more prepared than I am. I don't think I'm able to describe just how much I don't want to be a diplomat right about now. Like I said, the life of bureaucracy just doesn't fit me. If I had any say in the matter, then I'd rather be working on some other stuff. Logan, are you stalling? What makes you think that? I mean, here you are, talking to me, instead of actually going in. On top of that, you looked like you were just standing outside for a while before I arrived. Well, got him. Let's go inside and see what Emera wants. Taking a deep breath, the two of us entered the office building and made our way to Emera's office. Here we go. Knock, knock. Please enter. Alright, Emera is ready for us. She's always coming at us with these curveballs. Welcome, ambassadors. I didn't think that the both of you would arrive in unison. Do you want to talk to us separately then? Oh, no need. This matter would involve the both of you. If Logan was unaware of the threat that we face, perhaps I would have felt the need to talk to you separately. All the energy we had gathered to redirect the comet is ready, though it seems that there was only one underground generator instead of the two that we were led to believe. Do you have any ideas about this? I'm afraid not. Strange. I was hoping that you would know, considering that you were one of the last people known to enter the facility. No matter, the generator that we were able to retrieve is more than enough to cover the missing generator. I'll still have the police investigate the matter, however. Which brings us to the trade agreement. Ambassador Logan, due to our circumstances, we'll have to put the trade on hiatus while we recover from our huge energy expenditure. If we don't use every generator we have after we've redirected the comet, then we will face an enormous energy crisis. It just wouldn't work if both of our civilizations had extreme issues with the shortage of electricity, now would it? No, it wouldn't. I've kind of been skipping through the scenes a bit, so have we already taken the generator? We've stashed it somewhere, so it might have been us that stole that, whoops. However, I'm acutely aware that sending you back and forth again would drain even more energy from humanity's reserves. Hence, I've decided that we should send a letter to humanity while you continue to serve your duties as ambassador here. Besides, that was why you were sent back here, correct? Indeed. I thank you for your decision, Minister. I'll continue to serve my duties and oversee the trade agreement once everything is stable again. Good. Now, are there any other matters that need to be dealt with? Actually, yes. Shouldn't Remy be present as well, considering his contributions to redirecting the comet? He should. However, Remy called in sick today. From what I've heard of him, his illness is a very serious matter. All his research has been handed in, so Remy being absent isn't too much of an issue. A question from my side, Minister? What am I supposed to do while humanity waits for our generators? We shall discuss it after the comet's been redirected, one problem at a time, Ambassador. So be it. I was hoping to be more productive while I wait, but it seems that I can't be ahead of the gears of bureaucracy. Politics really is a complicated game, I'm afraid. Oh, hello? Please excuse me, the phone's ringing. Emma turned her focus away from us to answer a phone call. After exchanging a few words, her face slowly became more and more stressed. Hey, the time has come. Let's just hope that our endeavours are successful. Let's hope so. It's the moment of truth. Are we going to go for it? The three of us waited for the occasional news that we would receive over the phone. As the minutes passed, anxiety started to consume my soul as I became more and more worried that something had gone wrong. However, that wasn't the case. It was late in the evening when we heard that the comet had been successfully redirected, although at a severe cost. Not only had the emergency energy reserves been used, but the underground generator had also been damaged thanks to the strain that it had endured. Logan, upon hearing this news, was devastated, not because his ingenuity hadn't met his high expectations, but because he couldn't use the portal while the generator was undergoing repairs. For the time being, we were both stuck here. Exhausted from all the stress, me and Logan parted ways for the day, knowing that we'd have to meet again soon to discuss what we'd be doing in the Dragon's world. While Logan went to the bar to presumably have another outing with Bryce, I instead decided to check up on Remy. Hey Remy, good job with the research. Yo. Hey, everything okay? For now, it should be. I just need some time to recover, that's all. There's only so much you can do before completely burning out to the point where you need to stay in bed. Remy, what did I tell you about not resting? Oh, Adine here. Oh hey, I didn't know that you were visiting. What are you doing here? Remy asked me to take care of him while he's bedridden. The poor guy can barely do anything now that his body's completely crashed. Surely there has to be something that I can help with, right? I'm afraid not. I already have all the help that I need right now, so any extra help would be unnecessary. The extra conversation's appreciated though. Still, it's a bit of a shame that I wasn't there to see the comet being redirected, but I guess knowing that I contributed is good enough for me. Well, rest is far more important for you now. Remy, just take it easy and let Adine take care of you. Which is the plan. Are you going back home now that the comet has been redirected? Not entirely sure. I haven't really given it much thought. Well, whatever your decision, I'll support you regardless. Besides, I'm sure we'll run into each other again. But for now, you need to go back to bed, Remy. It's time to take your temperature. Again? I just measured it. I need to constantly monitor your body's reaction to see if you're starting to feel better. We'll measure your temperature again. Right. Well, I guess I'll see you some other time. Do stay safe for now. And thank you. No worries, Remy. That went okay. It was nice to see him relaxing and recuperating. I returned to my apartment, decided that I needed as much of a rest as I could gather after the day's events. Once I opened the door, I saw that a familiar figure was resting on my couch, as if waiting for me to return. Hey, did you just break in? What? Okay. I was curious. As to where the administrator was in the middle of all of this. Welcome back. Good to be back, Izumi. So you remember my name. I guess this won't be necessary anymore. Tell me, what else can you remember? Enough to realise that this entire attempt is extremely unusual. Just where were you on the night of the fireworks? You're right in regards to this not being a normal timeline. If my sources prove to be correct, then you'd be in a coma right about now. But as we can obviously see, that is not the case. Wait, so you know how different this timeline is compared to others? Yes and no. Frankly, I don't have the time nor the desire to explain this all to you. Tell me, do you know what usually happens during the night of the fireworks when you confront Reza? I think that I usually talk with Reza for a bit until Maverick shows up. I'm pretty sure you also appear from the shadows as well at some point. Wait, neither of those two things happened this time. Correct. I decided to risk the integrity of this timeline by experimenting with whatever resources I had available. I sent a note to the Chief of Police Force to go to the underground facility while you were talking with Reza, leading to Remy finding Bryce instead of Maverick. I stayed undercover near the portal just in case this plan were to fail. Luckily for us, it hadn't, and now the comet's been redirected, and everything is good. Why are you telling me all of this? You wouldn't understand even if I spelled it out to you. Just be grateful that we got as favourable a result as we did, because there were a lot of places that it could have failed. If you say so. So, what will you be doing now? Surely the main reason for you staying here was to redirect the comet, right? We shall see where the road takes us. You surely have your duties, and I have mine. Perhaps I'll experiment with the portal a bit more. Perhaps I'll disappear from the face of the earth. Izumi gave a slight smirk before looking directly into my eyes, filling my soul with a feeling of light fear. Regardless, I thank you for your service, Ambassador Ushio. You've done well. Rest easy now. You deserve it. Same to you. Oh, I will. You have no idea how tired I am. Izumi started to walk out the door, yet paused as soon as she turned the handle. Before I go, I need to ask you something. In one of your previous attempts, do you remember being stranded in the human world with one of your friends? And if you do you remember managing to convince me to take your place and try again in your stead? I don't know. My past attempts are hazy at best. Figured as much, then let me simplify it a bit. Do you ever remember receiving a note with the letters TTT written on it? Maybe something related to asking you to send it through the portal, perhaps? Can't say. Maybe. Interesting. Izumi took a notepad out of one of her pockets and wrote something down, and then quickly put it back as fast as it had happened. This will prove to be a great help. Thank you. I'm pretty sure that this is a reference to this mod's creator's other mod, The Last Dragon. One of those endings, there is a mysterious note that shows up and it's never elaborated upon. So maybe this is to do with that? Wait, what do you mean? Never mind. Finding the truth will only hurt us in the long run, especially if this proves to be a success. What? As Izumi disappeared from my sight, I only stood in confusion as to what she just said. Something about it seemed too familiar to me, but I just couldn't put my tongue on it. I wonder if Remy would know anything about this, considering that Izumi pointed out that one of my friends is apparently involved. He's probably the best shot I have. It is Remy that came with us to the human world. I'll just have to wait until Remy recovers for now. In the meantime, I should make myself something to eat. Nice, get that food in you. Can't be doing anything on an empty stomach. And that is the end of what I think is Ending C. Ending achieved. Ending C. Changed with experimentation. Congratulations for getting the neutral ending to The Last Hope. Maybe it's best not to think about what Izumi said. Besides, she seemed very serious about her statement about not wanting you to find the truth. Or spooky. Oh, we have seen B, C, D, and E, so it's just the best endings to go. But that is it for now. This is the show signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.